for the last 20 years. I have come to understand certain terminologies that is really not the talk of the clinical tongue. And is there I started to hear terms of what our body, how our body functions, the microbiome, somatids of life, our life force in our cells, mitochondria, and all of these terms that we are now hearing that the clinical field is bringing into view because of science now. I always say we'll find God before man. And so I believe in moving forward. My training is in quantum medicine, in-depth training in energy medicine with cutting technology in nutrition, biology, and neuroscience by using certain quantum equipments to analyze and identify things that is going on at the cellular level within a system. All right, I consult with integrative clinics as well. They ask my consultation in certain things that they just need to, identify from that standpoint. Background is into a little bit of stem cells and so forth. But my whole part and belief is that we should return to the gifts of nature and the quest for balance in wisdom of mind, body, and soul. The thing is that many of us are not really physically ill. We are mentally ill, we are spiritually ill. The balance in our bodies are really out of balance. And the quest for wellness, we are treating things in a manner which we have been taught and, into understanding how a system works. And many of you know that when you go to, now I'm not bashing my doctors, I work with them, but at the end of the day, if you get a broken arm, you will not go by a herb specialist, you would go by a doctor to fix that arm, right? But at the end of the day, we see things, treat things from a symptom level. We don't treat it at the root cause of the problem. And that is where everything starts. And that is where the disruption begins. So tonight, I just want to briefly talk a little bit because I want to have dialogue with you all. When I have dialogue, it means that when I'm in a classroom or a session like this, I want to hear from you because it's you, the people that is having the issues. I need to hear from you. So we're going to have a question and answer at the end of the sessions. And please write down your questions. I'm going to call upon my key people so that we can, interact in this session tonight. I love interaction. I don't really like talking all the time. It's very dull. It's very boring, So I like to hear the flavors. I'm from the Caribbean, so I like hallelujah, mixed up of everything, So what we're going to discuss tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about what is orthomolecular nutrition, mitochondrial extinction, empowered epigenetics, quantum testing. So we're going to touch on some of these tonight. And we're going to talk about what's the root causes of all the problems that have been generating in the world today. We are bombarded by oxidative stress, which are sun rays, stress, pesticides, insecticides, air pollution, and tobacco, and all the other things that come with it that not even written on the slide here. These are some of the things that is causing metabolic syndrome and obesity, meaning that we are now have become high consumption of sugars, carbohydrates, saturated fats, sedentary lifestyle. And what is sedentary lifestyle? It means a couch potato, as we know the term, right? You sit there in front of a television, no exercise, no walking, no doing. And now more than ever, we have this pandemic that is facing the world today. You can't even walk out your door and have a 2-minute walk around the savannah anymore because we are under SOEs. But at the end of the day, there are ways in which we can do what we need to do to help keep our body in tune. All right. In today's lifestyle, these eating on healthy foods, as you see, high sugar and carbs and all these saturated fats that is in, the preservatives that we are intaking has been getting our body degenerate, causing our system to become degenerated. There is no nutrition. And I have, if some of you have heard my seminars, in the past, where I spoke about the 6th mass extinction, what is really happening in the world today is that since the day we were born, our bodies has become or being modified by the foods we are eating, because we are not taught or trained or understand what nutrition is. All we know is eating a food and filling our guts, and that's where it's at. But there are lots of things that goes beyond that, beyond what the eye can see, beyond what the body feels. All right. And because of this lifestyle, it's causing a lot of hormonal imbalances, digestive issues, because of the processed foods. It is low in minerals, especially magnesium. And later down, we're going to discuss what these minerals, how these minerals are really needed. And with the last whammy and the last attack is when the imbalance hits the intestinal flora because of the excess sugars, antibiotics that we take, and the stress. Don't talk about the stress factors, and also that leads to nutritional deficiency. So isn't this what we are seeing today in today's world? The four biggest problems that we are actually facing is obesity. We can't even identify where the tummy is to the stomach, to the belly, in layman terms. We are bombarded with heart disease because of the foods that we are eating is clogging up our arteries, our vessels, there's not enough oxygen in the blood, and we insist on continuously doing what we are doing. And what's the definition of madness? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting to get a relief. So tonight, I really want you guys to take notes, take the information that we are giving you tonight, because let me tell you something, you're not going to live long if you continue on this journey and this path. As you see on the screen, 2 out of 3 Americans are overweight. Well, it's not only Americans, it's now throughout the world. The Caribbean now, diabetes, obesity, causing obesities, diabetes, cardiovascular issues, hypertension, all of these things is on the rise. It's going to become the first or the second most deadly disease out on the planet, diabetes, right? Lack of energy, and all because of what we are putting in our bodies, and because too the body doesn't have the life force that it needs to continue normal health or to displace nutrition within the body. Why? Because there's something in our cells called the mitochondria. We are over 43 trillion cells in our bodies, and you're going to hear from a wonderful leader outside of Trinidad, hails from Jamaica very soon, when he talks about certain things that we need to have in our body tonight. And folks, we need to really be cognizant of this information and take into note what we are saying to you tonight, right? Always associates with all disease, the oxidative stress and the mitochondrial damage. We are going to discuss the mitochondria in a detail where you understand why it is important to keep this little life force going. It is in every cell in our body, and what it is referred to, it is the powerhouses of our cells in our body. They help turn energy we eat the food into energy that these cells can use, and to give us the life, to give us the repair the organs, and organs function, all right, in the body. And during this reproduction, how our mitochondria really starts is in birthing. This has to take place from birth. Most of our DNA structure actually comes from our mother. The father gives us, yes, but certain chromosomes and so forth, the X and Y chromosomes, but it really comes mostly from the mother. All right, we receive that DNA, which is the empty DNA, maternal DNA, from the mother. And it is also very proven that it can gauge genetic disposition and tracing when anything happens in your system. You ever take note of when you go to fill out a form or anything, they always ask for your mother's maiden name. They never really ask for the father name, unless it's something that some information you need to get. That really everything is connected to the mother. All right, they always ask so they can have a connection to you. And that is what, you know, in now times, they are saying that information is coming out that we are actually the descendants from the common ancestor knows, they're starting to term it the mitochondrial Eve. All right, because she is the beginning of all life forms. So when we start to look at it coming down the lineage, we realize what our bodies is really made up of and what we need to keep the body going. So because of all of these lifestyle issues, the foods that we are eating, the generation is degenerating. Guess what? When you try to put something into the body, nothing works anymore because the system is already degenerated to a point. And now we have to do a lot of work to get this mitochondria back in order because, folks, it is the beginning of all life in the system. So if the mitochondria is not well, guess what happens? The whole body turns dysfunctional. Organs and organ functions starts to happen. So when we are having these issues in our system, as my great master Clive would always say, and I coined his term, issues in our tissues. Can any one of you relate to some of these things that you're seeing on the screen? It causes the body acidity level to arise. And when acid is high in a system or your pH goes off balance, this is what happens in the system. If the body is alkaline and the pH is of a certain balance, not every part of the organ or the body takes on a 7 pH balance. Different organs have different pH balances in their body. Guess what happens? This is what happens if it goes out of balance. You get cardiovascular issues, damages to your blood vessels, reduction, thrombosis of veins, pains, weight gain, obesity. Then your sugar levels start rising. You become too sweet. It's all well and good to be sweet, but when you're over sweet in a digestive form, it means that you are degenerating. So it's not a good term, right? The bladder and kidneys condition you start to happen because there is not enough flow. You have more proteins in the kidneys, causing the kidneys now to start to damage the interstitial tissues in the kidneys and all of these things. You find yourself getting the flu often. You cannot even ward off a normal flu that comes on because your immunity, your adenoids, everything is congested, your brain fog, all of that. All of this arise when the mitochondria and those little life forms goes out of balance in the body. Then you have acceleration of free radical damage, all right, which starts the catalyst of contributing to cancerous mutations. Yes, folks, because the proteins that allows for enzymic digestion and function in the body starts to mutate. So even if it's not genetic in origin, an environment can bring about these conditions in the body. So you are actually eating your way to the grave. All right. You it's like Dr. Franco would say it. Let me rephrase that. He said, aging your way to the grave, but now you have to eat your way back out. And that is what we're going to learn tonight. So you would not have the premature aging, you get in low energy and all these chronic fatigue, arthritic conditions, aching muscles, joint pain, and oh my, we talk about osteoporosis in its whole form. Weak and brittle bones, hip fractures, spurs, and the list goes on. Osteochondrosis, you're damaging the nerve endings and the spine, and all of these things starts to arise when the body starts. So once you find any of this starting to take place in your system, hello, that's the wake-up call. We need to get going. We need to start looking at our body. So the next slide here, you are seeing the microbiome and its functions. And you have a little thing that you can read there on the screen. And now I'm going to cue in my beloved, I call him the guru of the microbiome movement. And we have had some really lovely sessions moving this movement, talking about the microbiome and what it does in our system. Actually, it is our intelligent life force that does regulates, rejuvenate, repairs. And when that starts to hurt, that's where all processes starts to happen in what's going on in our lives today. So Master Clive, are you out there?
Yes, I am very much so, Dr. Pereira. Yes, I'm here live and direct.
Lovely. Take it away. Tell us a little bit about the microbiome and what is its function, and why is it important that we have the understanding about what our microbiome is all about.
Oh, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Now, in terms of what medical science is saying, when you begin to refer to something as the second brain, you begin to add credence to it, because our brain is one of the most celebrated, elaborate, decorated organs of the human body. And when you begin to liken something to the brain, it is going to get attention from a lot of people. And that is exactly what medical science is saying, that we have a second brain, two brains, but one mind. Now, that is very significant when you begin to realize that you have a second brain. So the obvious question is, so where is this brain located? And of course, it's located in the distal colon, the lower part of the alimentary canal GI tract. You have the colon, the last 5 to 6 feet of your digestive tract. Now, inside that colon, persons are saying, but how come medical science has not recognized it after all these years? And the obvious answer will be, these microbes that makes up your microbiome lives inside of the mucus lining of your colon that protects the epithelial layer. So you would not see it because you can't even see microbes with the naked eyes. So the next question is, what does it do? Now, it performs so many functions, some of which are mentioned here. It helps us to digest our food. Anything to do with the maintenance of your GI tract, from your mouth all the way down, the microbiome is in charge. And we are now understanding some of this, that this very set of things that we're trying to get rid of has now come to play such an important role in our existence. People are blown away. When did this happen? How did this happen? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are grateful to medical science that we are now understanding our true construct, because I'm a lay person, but I'm very concerned that I am just learning about my true self. After all these decades, I'm just understanding myself. Okay, sis friends, if you do not understand who you are, because one of the most important questions that you can ever ask in your life is, who am I? And we need to seek, and the medical scientific community has not been adequately able to answer that question, because they are telling you that you are a human being. And you are not a human being. You are a super organism. You are an ecosystem. But we are being treated as if to say we are full 100 humans. And that is why we have been hurting ourselves. That is why many persons are not well. That is why many people today that are living with a chronic, debilitating condition and are sick, because they do not understand who they are. And I believe that people need to understand who they are. Every person deserves to understand who they are so that they can live accordingly. Because if you know better, you're going to do better, or you should do better. So we need to know who we are as a being. So we are realizing that, based upon the information coming to us, that yes, we are partly human cells, but they are also bacterial cells, fungal cells, viral cells, archaea, protozoa, and even parasites. I said that, parasites. It's amazing how these guys form themselves into one organ inside of our body and are now being recognized by medical science as an official organ. This is worse than sci-fi. We couldn't even make up the story even if we wanted to, but this is true. Microbes run our body. They are like the manual of our body. Microbes are to the human body what the internet is to the computer and to your cell phone. It expands human capacity. Look what we live to be saying. Bacteria and its friends expands human capacity. If we were to say this 100 years ago, they might say that we are candidates for the asylum. But look at what we are now saying. That we can't even live. We can't even walk. We can't even talk. We can't even feed ourselves. We can't even think without microbes. Do you find this quite interesting? That the modern day medical system in the Western world has gotten this memo for the last 15 to 20 years, or maybe more, according to who you're looking at. And there is no commitment on their part to empower and educate us. But look at the drama. They don't even tell their doctors. The system is withholding information from their very doctors. And there are many doctors who reach out to us and say, we never understood this because they did not teach us this in medical school about the microbiome, the gut microbiome. So ladies and gentlemen, this information that we have this evening is most profound. We are the ones who are charged with the responsibility to take this to every nook and cranny and tell from baby to granny. Am I overdoing my time, Lady Denise? I'm asking. I don't want to get carried away. Have I done my stint?
You can go a few minutes.
A few minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, this microbiome controls your very mood. What do you mean? I control my mood, you know? Your gut bacteria, because guess what? 95% of your serotonin is made inside of your gut. 5% is made by your brain. So they control if you're sad or if you're anxious, if you are depressed, if you are moody, if you are irritable. If you are not making the right amount of serotonin, there's going to be imbalance. You're going to be depressed or you're going to be anxious. We need to feed ourselves in such a way that our gut microbiome can make sufficient serotonin so we can be happy, so we can be bubbly, so we can be approachable. Many persons, you have to study them before you approach them because you're trying to find out what kind of mood are they in today. There's no way to live. You must always be an approachable person. Your kids have to wonder, your husband have to wonder, your co-workers have to wonder, your brothers and sisters have to wonder. Stabilize your mood. And the way to do that, take better care of your gut microbiome by giving them real food. Not only that, your gut microbiome maintains your immune system. I am concerned that we are asked to wait on a vial with some injection in it to help us to fight COVID-19 when we have a microbiome. The very role of your microbiome is to raise the IQ of your immune system, to supervise it, to monitor it, and to make it smart. If your microbes can't protect you, these are guys who have been around for up to 3.5 billion years and have survived everything thrown at it. And you're telling me that they don't know how to fight viruses? I fail to believe that. I would rather trust my microbiome to make my medicine than the smartest team of doctors from any university or any lab anywhere in the world. I don't know, you may disagree with me, but I rather depend on Mother Nature than Father Science in this regard. Because Mother Nature has it locked. Your digestive system, your hormone, your so many things inside of your body, even switching on and switching off of your genes are done by these smart, intelligent microbes, ladies and gentlemen. I am blown away. I'm intrigued even that we have help. God knows that the body needed help. And many of the functions of the body we thought we were doing for ourselves are really outsourced to the microbes. And they are doing a fantastic job. We just need to know that they are there, show them the honor and respect they deserve, nurture them, care for them, and love them, enjoy them, instead of trying to kill them. The narrative has changed. You have to stop killing microbes and start nurturing and caring and get more microbes in your body in case your health is off balance. I think I need to hand over now to you, Dr. Denise Pereira, I say so. Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness. I hope you guys took notes because I have been taking notes as well. I mean, this microbiome, you're talking about a microbiome, intelligent life force, an alien life force, a pseudo force, a second brain, and all of that in our system. Don't you see why your body is crying out and it is rebelling? Because these microbiomes and these little life force in the cells that actually has the intelligence to deal with every issue in the body, it is rebelling because you're not giving it what it needs. So when you don't give yourself what it needs, you have disruption and health issues within the body. So the microbiome, the intelligent life force now that we now are understanding, and that my peers are now talking about it, because I've been preaching this for the last 15, 20 years, and no doctor's tongue had ever spoke the word microbiome until C19 came out. I heard the intelligence of one of the doctors, the head cancer specialist, and she was saying, we got to correct what's going on with a microbiome. I said, what? I had to tape that little clip from my phone, because it's like now they are waking up. You see, people are asking questions, and it's a matter of time before, even if the information is there, but a lot of people tends to speak gloom and doom in their eyes and in their lives because they are seeing what is happening. But folks, tonight we want to tell you that you have this intelligence within your body, and your body is crying out and it is telling you that I need to live. Your body is made to live. Nobody wants to die, you know. For the last 3 months or so, I have been really in contact with these illnesses and sick people, and I can tell you that they don't want to die. They are begging you to give them something to live. And here we have these sessions every day. I just came out of one 10 minutes before I jump on into my session all day today, and all these leaders, Master Clive and all these other beautiful leaders who is going to come on tonight to speak to you, have been 24/7 on calls and sessions telling their people, giving you life. And if you don't want life in your hands, well, then you made that detrimental statement to annihilate yourself, because we are going through the 6th mass extinction. And if you want to hear what the masses want you to hear and program your mind and believe in that programming, and I am thinking that a lot of people has been asking me and certain questions, and you know, they are thinking, they are waking up and trying to understand really what is going on. So on these sessions, you're going to understand and hear what the programming, we have to unprogram the old programming and now reprogram our system like a computer, reprogram our system and upload this new information, because this is where the body is at. So next slide is saying here, the belief. The belief is that we all want to heal, but the reality is that many of us are fearful of becoming healthy. And why? Maybe you'll catch it later down in the session as we keep going. Because true healing belongs to the power of our inner soul and confronting the truth. Not many of us wants to confront the truth in our lives, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, physically, psychologically, physiologically in our bodies. You know, we are not confronting the really root cause of the problems, the causatives of the problems that we are having. So we have been programmed and trained to go and listen to the health specialist that tells us, the medical doctors. As I said, I'm not bashing my people. I love them. My doctors, I love them very much, but they have been giving you information, wrong information, you know. And later down, I'm going to say, because I speak with so much passion and conviction that I get really spiritually, you know, upset when you see that people are not really understanding what your body needs and wants. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to how the mind thinks, why your body is behaving in this way. And once we embrace the power of that soul talk, which is your microbiome, because that is what directing you and leading you to truly understand the healing is an act. When you understand, then it will be an act of transformation, not a confrontation with an illness. So either I'm telling you, in this belief system, either it's a truth or a fact. Whatever fact you want to believe, or whether you think it's the truth, this is where our system lies. Because we were trained allopathically to think about symptoms that are bad. All right, doctors, you know, they are target the treatment. With successful treatment, a patient will no longer experience them. But you making, you know, it's like a plaster on a sore. They are just treating the symptoms. 5-6 months down the road, you're going back to them again, because the symptom or the problem, the illness or the weakness in the body has not been corrected. But in true healing, you will find we will treat the root causes of the symptom, because you might have a pain in your spine, but it's stemming from a part of the brain that is connecting those you know, sciatica nerves going down to the body. And that's where is the secondary part in the body that is being disrupted. All right, so here's what they're going to treat, that part down there, but they're not treating where it's actually stemming from. So you get a little effect, a little ease, you feel better for 2-3 months, then the swelling in the foot goes away, and then bam smack, it comes back even worse than how it was before. All right, so this is what we are trained to believe and trained to think, that, you know, in illnesses, you define illness in groups, because I'm telling you, I'm clinically trained, so I'm telling you, we batch them. So, you know, we treat them according, and I'm sure there are nurses and doctors on this call as well. So, you know, you're identifying with some of these things. So the truth is that there are lots of things and terminologies that we can use, but the main thing is getting back to the root cause of the system and back to your Garden of Eden, because your body is actually crying out to be well, because you came from a being, you came from the cosmic experience. So when you're not getting that nutrition within your body, guess what happens? You suffer, because you find you're doing the same thing over and over, and nothing is correcting it, nothing is happening. As Master Clive said, your microbiome is an intelligence of its own. It's almost alien. It's not human. And that's your spirit connection. All right, folks? So this is what is going to lead us into what is epigenetics and the new science of self-empowerment. You heard I said earlier on that science is going to find God before man. Folks, I am not religious. All right? I come from a spiritual background. So when I deal with things, I deal with it on that level, because there are lots of things that's going on. That's a topic for another time. But what we are understanding and what is really the new science hasn't been new at all. It was here since the beginning of times. But society has done its best not to give you this sort of information. So we are here to give you the information and for you to decide a truth or a fact. And then you're going to hear how these truths have been working in each and every one of our system. Before I continue, I will tell you this. About 10 minutes before, All right, I'll leave that to later down in the program. But let's continue. So some of the terms you've been hearing in the group, we're talking about this. What is epigenetics? Epigenetics is really the study of changes in the organisms caused by modification of the gene expression rather than altering the genetic code. What it simply means is that if you want to use the word manipulate, that's what we do. We'll manipulate the genes for wellness so that it can create the right atmosphere, the enzymes, the amino acids, the proteins, and all of these things to start the correction in the body in a diseased part of the system or organ function, so that it can produce its corrective stem cells to start working on the system to do what it requires. Sometimes, most times, the body is so degenerated that it can't even bring its head above water. But that doesn't mean something is not going on inside that system, because you're walking through the valley of your shadow of death for 40 years, eating your way to the grave, and you expect to get a 24-hour result. It don't work that way, because now you have to reset that microbiome. You have to help that poor little mitochondria who is almost dead and dehydrated. So this is where our bodies is at this point, causing all these chronic conditions, all these types of cancers that doctors can't even come to terms with words to call these diseases. I mean, I've seen it happen. Cases are coming up that we are back against a wall. We don't even know how to call it. But because of how it is, the symptoms is, we will put a name to it. So you're hearing microbiota. What is a microbiota? The microbial cells and all of that. It refers to the specific microorganisms found within the specific environment. So when you have a certain microbiota, you have to it actually is found in certain parts of the body, certain parts of the organs that are going to do its certain work. There is every organ is their intelligent force is restructured through the microbiome. And the microbiome, most of it, we hear the words of lactobacillus, bifidobacillus, and all of these, bacteria in our body. Earlier on, you were taught to think 60-40% of bacteria in the gut. Now that has changed, because as you heard, and I believe he spoke about the Genome Project and all of that, you understand now where, they have been saying that they have been saying the wrong information. All right. And the genomes, which is your complete set of genetic instructions and codes in that organism that is needed to build and to allow growth and development. When you are born, all of these are really your proteins. Proteins are your building blocks in your body. And all of these stem from the mitochondria, the microbiome, which starts all, as Master Clive would say, it started from the umbilical cord into the vaginal canal, right way through until life. All right. So what the river of life is all about. Bruce Lipton said in his book of Biology Belief, he observed that every one of our blood cells, there are trillions of these cells in an individualized, complete organism in our bodies, right? He observed in these cells that just like any human, each cell has its own intelligence, being that it can survive on its own. It is capable of learning and creating cellular memories. What that tells you, if there's a disruption on one part of the body, let's say, let's use an organ, for instance, a heart, all right? You have cardiovascular issues, you have blocked arteries, you have blocked vessels, all right? And you start to take certain medications and certain things. It is only going to help release the pressure, vasodilate that blood vessel so that you can have easy movement. But is it correcting the blockage or breaking down the blockage? No, it's not. All right. And we can argue that on a different session. All right. But guess what's going to happen? You put something of nutritional value into that body. And do you know that most times you can see blood vessels start to grow off and start to make new vessels to connect to a healthier vessel and the mode of flow. Many of you probably don't know that, all right? But I can tell you that because my dad had cardiovascular issues. And when they were using certain supplements and nutrition in his body, we started to see these things happening. So what that is telling you, these cells are capable of creating their own memories, meaning that they can divert and cause a regeneration within a body. So folks, this is life. This is what we have in our hands, life. This is how your body is made up. Ain't that the microbiome, that intelligent force that we are talking about? And they live in these sophisticated communities. What? The microbiome, right? And they perform specialized tasks. Your red blood cells sustain life. The same way it gives you life is the same way it can take it as well. Prove me and try me. You can't prove me wrong on this one because that's my specialty. I see it every day. I see how you are living and dying on a slide. I can tell you. So this is what we are having in our lives. This is what is happening in our whole human. This is our human experience. All right. The white blood cells, on the other hand, they identify the intruders such as microbes, viruses, and all these things that come into our system. So they are the ones, they are our frontliners, they are our nuke cells that helps us to ward off any destruction that happens within the life. So many of us know this. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, he said even doctors swear by the quote, but they don't even use his quote anymore. They largely ignores it. All right. One of them, Dr. Lyndon H. Smith, he's in our time. I like to use our time doctors because sometimes when you do presentations and people hear from the 19th century and so forth, not that it's not valid, but I want you to see Dr. Lyndon from our time, a professor of clinical pediatrics from Oregon Health Science University. I have studied some of his sessions, take some sessions there as well. All right, from Portland, Oregon, he said modern drugs and vaccines have proven to be a hoax in attaining health. Folks, I didn't say it. I'm quoting him because if I say it, there might be a lawsuit against me, but don't worry, I have my court closed because they have brought false hopes. The vaccinations are not working and they are dangerous. We should be working with nature. Case closed. So my next slide is saying, I have given you every herb that yields seed, which is on the face of the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seeds to you shall be food. What that is telling us. Come on, folks, wake up. I don't have to go in details about this. God has given us everything that we need to eat on this earth for survival, for nutrition, for rejuvenation, for aging. When we age, it's because oxidative stress are happening in our body. Our cells are so degenerated that it don't even have a fighting chance to become healthy, but it is crying out. So it wants wellness. It wants to become homeostasis. It wants to maintain a stable environment in all our systems, biologically, in our organs, our tissues, our brain. It wants to be well. And that is what is happening with you today. All right. To self-regulate, what it means, it simply means to self-regulate and not develop degenerative diseases. What we are facing today, folks, we are continuously spinning a cycle of degeneration in our health. So for us to experience these nutrition and these healing process at a cellular level, what we have to do, we have to look at food. We have to look at stop degenerating our mitochondria, because it's our life force. We need to pay homage to that. We need to keep that, like that is life itself within our bodies. All right. And this is what orthomolecular medicine is all about. It's the treating of diseases by the provision of optimum molecular health. All right. In the environment, especially optimum concentrations. It means feeding the body little at a time so that it can go into the system to absorb these nutrition. All right. Today, there are many systems of health and disease treatment based on these visions of Hippocrates and Pauline. But are we taking notes? This is what our prescription should be like. This is what our prescription should be like. Balanced diet, supplements, vitamins, minerals, that helps to break down the essential fatty acids in our body, not push it back into the bloodstream and causing coagulants and thick blood cells and cardiovascular issues, fogginess of the brain. You can't think, the eyes, foggy and all of these things. Phytochemicals, plant-based, back to enrich the body's internal environment, fortify cell protection, repair so you don't age, the renewal processes is what's going on. But is our nutrition like this these days? I think most of us, our nutrition is like this on the slide. This is what we are filling in into our system, causing each little life force or whatever is left to be degenerated. And then you have a pill for every ill, as Master Clive say. When you get the headache, you dump a pill. It eases up for 2 minutes, but it didn't deal with the root cause, because next 6 hours or 12 hours, it comes back. And most of these pills are causing allergic reaction to persons. They're having a reaction in some form or manner, all right, upsetting their whole mitochondrial, processes within their bodies. All right, the exchange, hormonal imbalances, all of these issues that we are having. And you know what's the funny thing? They don't ask their doctor about these prescriptions and what's going on. But when someone brings health and healing to them, they want to give it the whole long and short about why I should take this, what it doing to my body, and if I'll get results in 24 hours. It don't work so, folks. Your body didn't go through the valley of death for 40 years to be rejuvenated in 24 hours. I always say I believe in the divine and healing and miracles. I believe in miracles, but I don't perform miracles. If the body got so by what you eating, now with what you're digging your graves through your teeth eating, now you have to supply the nutrition for it to dig yourself out of it. As Dr. Franco would always say, those of you who know Dr. Franco on the program. So here we have a wonderful Dr. Irias, a scientist, and Mr. Alejandro in the product line that we are going to discuss tonight about the supplements and the things that the body needs at this point, because most times our body is not able to absorb the raw foods that we are putting into our system. And because of his background into the field of understanding how he has studied the centenarians in Japan, and he has been doing the research through Sankey Meyer to come about with these products that is going to bring life back to the system, rejuvenate the life force in the body. And through Sankey Meyer, he had done 40 years in studies and in vitro researches and all of that. And when he investigated the centenarians in the island of Okinawa, he found that they were living to be 100 and over. And by let me say this, it is documented that your body is made to live to 120 in this time. But because of what we are doing to our bodies, we are degenerating to 60 to 70. And now the young ones are even going faster than the older ones. Why? Because of the foods, of the different things that is going on, that is happening, has been destroying the system. And because we don't know any better of nutritional value within our system, or maybe because we know, but we just don't heed the cause, a lot of other things are happening because we believe in our doctors. We believe that they are telling us the truth. We believe, yes, we believe. But at the end of the day, you have to know what to believe now, truth or a fact. All right. And he has understand why. And as Master Clive spoke about it, it stems from the gut. Because if the gut is sick, everything else goes out of balance. And I always tell persons, if you have one disease, you have one cure. And the thing is, if that gut goes out of balance, it's the second brain that regulates every metabolites, every microbiota, every genome, every mitochondria, everything. It has its cell signaling, and it has its intelligence to send those little army soldiers to go to those areas to correct it. And if we don't have the proper nutrition or the absorption or the certain type of formulation to give it that food, well, then all fall down. So using advanced sciences like nutrigenomics mean that they are studying is the study of supplements in terms of how it is absorbed in the body and how it affects food, nutrition, vitamins, minerals. That is what is the study of nutrigenomics, which is the absorption, and they look at how a system actually absorbs it, how it interacts with it, what certain things that they can do that, you know, in the system for its wellness. And that is what is the story of it. And after doing all those studies, they came on with the Sankey Fit system, which I have now, that I'm going to share with you what has been happening to me. About 10 minutes before this session, I started to feel really, maybe because of all the late nights I'm on and, you know, studying and doing certain things and in meetings and training and helping the teams through the Caribbean because we've been having a fantabulous week of all of this. I started to feel a little crash. I started to feel a little lightheaded, and you know what? I said, I have life in my hands. And I went and mixed my Belage, my Inner Seven. I actually asked my daughter to do it for me, and my Crenu. I put full parts. I make it full in 8 ounces of water, hot. And as you can see, maybe you have been seeing, I'm doing a little sip now and again, right? And I have actually seen my bounce back in 5 minutes. All these issues and that was, you know, I'm feeling tired and so forth, started to go wham into those cells and started to have those cells functioning. And we have a lot of other testimonies that's going to come on tonight. So do I have Dr. Rutan in the house tonight? Is my fellow unicorn in the house tonight? Anybody seeing Dr. Rutan on?
No, I'm not seeing Dr. Ruta and Dr. Denise. I'm not sure what is happening, but I'm not seeing her.
All right, not a problem, my beautiful queen out of Jamaica. So guess what? You and I are going to run the Sankey system.
No problem, hon, no problem. No
right.
Problem. You know you better.
I am going to bring on, and she's also going to talk about a little bit as we enter, for those who want to hear about the wealth part of the session. I'm not going to hold you long. You have a chance to leave. And she's also going to give you an idea of how you can be healthy and also wealthy. So without further ado, let's dive right into the Sankey Fit system. So my darling, my queen, and she's also my sponsor in this business, queen, and also my sister from a different mother. All right, let me tell you something. This girl has been walking with me, beating me, doing all sorts of things with me to get me back on my feet when I'm showing my downside. She would call me and she will rise me again. She's also the ambassador for Sankey Caribbean, and she's also a motivator, a mom. Oh my gosh, her lifestyle is so hectic. But let me tell you something. When this powerful woman comes on, you'll realize the power that's within her. She's like the Energizer Bunny. She just goes. She just goes. And more so, she have this Sankey Fit system. My God, my word, she would tell you all the things that you can make with these products as well. So without further ado, I bring you on my beautiful queen from Jamaica, Miss Beverly Holness.
Absolutely amazing, amazing. Are you hearing me loud and clear, Dr. Denise?
Yes, we are.
Okay, fantastic. What Sundays, what we do coffee and
Bev,
drink
I
all
think your
drinks.
internet,
You know, we are watching.
Bev, your internet is like it's lagging. It's fluctuating. So I'm not sure if we all three, Clive, Master Clive, we can come on and discuss it as well.
Okay, Dr. Denise.
Yes. So Bev, let's hear you again. Clive, are you hearing her? Or-
I'm not hearing her. Apparently, she's not picking up well where she.
Are you hearing any better now? My internet has been in and out all morning.
Yes.
A little better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Yes. Yeah, what I was saying before, you know, I was interrupted is that on a normal basis on Sundays, no one spend time like this to learn more about your health. What we normally do, we go to the movies, ice cream, sugary drink. Let me hold one sec. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I've been having some internet trouble. So we spend all our time to be eating popcorns full of butter, sugary drink, hot dogs that is made with plastic, you know, and that's what we spend our time doing. As a matter of fact, some of us didn't even spend our family time. But I want to congratulate Dr. Denise this evening on this brilliant move, this brilliant idea to take us back in time and also to put us where we are now, to understand that it doesn't matter how busy you are, we must take time to understand and to learn about our health, because that is all that we have right now. And this is something that I say on each of my calls. If you don't plan for your health, you have already planned to fail both your family and yourself, because that is all that we have. And when you really and truly look at our lifespan right now, I was asking a friend of mine this morning, right? And I said, what is it that what is really life? What are we living for? Because you have a lot of money, you have 2, 3, 4 cars, you have a house with 5, 6 bedroom, you can only sleep in one. You can only drive one car. It doesn't matter what you have. If you do not have good health, all of it, everything, nothing makes sense. And this is the reason why over 35 of us, instead of spending our Sunday evening doing things that is really and truly not impacting us, we chose to be on this call with Dr. Denise and the team tonight in order to make sure that we understand more about our health. When you listen and when you would have take copious note as it relates to what is happening, the functions of our microbiome, exactly what it is doing. Boy, I don't know about all of you. While Dr. Denise was presenting, I got up and I mixed an Inner 7 along with a Belage, and I ensure that I went into my daughter's room and I gave it to her because she have exams coming up. And this is the kind of reaction that I get from time to time, every time I listen. And I hear about, how I need to take care of myself. I just feel like if I did not have the products at home, I would have to go and get them. Sir Clive, are you there, sir?
Most definitely, Lady Bev.
Yes,
You're also right about that.
And I'm going to go in the order of how these products are between you and I and Denise. We're looking at the Asaki, Sir Clive.
Yes.
And every time you speak about the microbiome, I'm thinking about the Asaki, because the Asaki is the product that balances our good and our bad bacteria. Am I correct, sir?
Most definitely.
The system also said, because, a lot of persons going to say to us, How do you know that it is truth? How do you know that? How did you know that today is Sunday? And my answer to that to everyone, I believe in the integrity of the company. I believe in the science behind it. I believe in the integrity of what is in the product, the ingredients, what they use, but more so, I believe in the testimonies that comes from the product, from the users. So, Sir Clyde, the company says that the Asaki have 596 metabolites. I know Dr. Denise is going to touch that. It allows your body to absorb another 20% protein, because we know that a lot of persons are not able to absorb protein. Am I correct, sir?
Sure.
We know, Ustad, sir, that our body need at least 21 different amino acids that our body does not naturally produce. Am I correct, sir?
Yes.
It also takes care of the oxidation of fat, and it brings energy to trillions of what?
Mitochondria.
Of the mitochondria. Sir, can you break down all of that in layman terms for us, please?
Okay. The truth be told is that our body has to make metabolites. Those 596 metabolites, and I really love how Dr. Denise is able to expand on the need for 596 and the significance of 596. But if you're not making metabolites, your body can't heal. Your body heals by making metabolites. In science, metabolites have a name: butyrate, acetate, and propionate. There are other types of metabolites, so amino acids and things of that nature. But butyrate is recognized as one of the key healers of the body. This is how the body heals itself. This is how the body maintains a proper up and running gastrointestinal tract without the different diseases of Crohn's disease, celiac disease, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulitis, acid reflux, and different types of bloating and gas and things like that. It maintains the integrity of your gut and fix and deals with things like leaky gut syndrome or increased intestinal permeability. So ladies and gentlemen, these metabolites, you have to eat a diet that can cause your bacteria to go to work. I go to pains sometimes to explain to folks that much of what we buy at supermarket do not qualify for bacteria to act upon because it is too refined, acidic, and processed. That by the time you consume much of what fast food, processed food, the small intestine ingests most of that. Nothing is left to go to the colon, where you have 39 trillion live microbes. As a result of that, Dr. Denise can tell you that the other thing like SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth, that comes from the colon and also from the mouth. Bacteria migrating into the small intestine and causes all kinds of different problems inside of the body. So when you feed your gut microbiome with metabolites, it is the single best thing you can do to be friendly. As a user-friendly product, Asaki is very user-friendly to your gut microbes because you're already providing them with what they need to make, but with what they cannot make properly because we're not eating enough fiber and resistant starches. So this product is one of simply the best product on the market today because of how it works in the body by providing metabolites for the body, and these microbiome begin to use these metabolites to begin to correct all kind of things inside of the body. But I know, Dr. Denise, I always love how you speak about the significance of the 596 metabolites. Would you like to chime in, please? Oh, your microphone?
Yes, sorry. Yes, you know, it confuses me. I need somebody to run this program for me. Yes. Our bodies were designed for 596. I always thought when I saw this formulation, why it wasn't 600 or 400 as most, you know, supplements would have certain amount of metabolites. And when I saw this, it's really, really cutting edge technology here, where I really believe that Divine himself has really given Dr. Idias these formulations, because this is back to even formulation. 596 metabolites is the exact enzymic function, amino acids and enzyme proteins, amylase, lipids, and all of these wonderful enzymes and amino acids to help break down digestion. It's the total circle of what the microbiome needs in the body. So if you are sick and unhealthy, it starts with the gut. Its formulation is capo, which Clive, you can expand on that. It's not processed. It's not anything. It's raw foods from as we would say Garden of Eden in formulating this product so that we can get these metabolites, well, because of what it does into our system. And we're talking about the mitochondria. It's the life force for these trillion mitochondria cells in our bodies, because if the mitochondria is not working, we cannot digest, we cannot break down our calcium, we can absorb calciums, a lot of things happen within our system. So back over to you, Queen Bev, Master Clive.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Denise. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go in line. Here we are at the Belage. The Belage is considered to be the flagship product of the company, because if you look on this slide, it says that it detoxifies your body and improve energy. We're going to break down that. Guys, all of us on this call know what it is like to feel lack of energy, lethargic. You feel like you have no energy to go. You just want to lay where you are. You go to bed sluggy, you go to bed like a papa snail, and you wake up like a mama snail. You go to work, before you get to work, you start sleep. You're sleeping at the desk in Jamaica, we call it niggeritis. But I believe that it is nigger, it is white, it is Indian, it is blue-ritis. It doesn't matter what nation you are from. All of us have suffered from lack of energy, which I think that is serious illness for you to get up every day and feel lack of energy. I can tell you right at this, I've not felt lack of energy in a while, because I make sure that I take care of myself. But guys, here we have a product. The Belage means beautiful age. It said what? It reactivates our body's antioxidant. It go back again and it increase energy production naturally. And I want to repeat that, naturally. It also improves blood circulation. There are several of us inside here that our blood is dripping like ketchup. It is not skirting. The blood is not skirting so that it can feed the entire organ system. It's dripping. When it starts to drip, I am not the medical person right here, but I know that persons who suffer from stroke most of the time or all the time is because of what? Improper circulation. The blood is not flowing to the brain. So therefore, you have a lot of blood clots and all of that, things itch up in the blood because it can't move around the way, because the Bible tells us that the life of the body is in the blood. So if the life of the body is in the blood and all these garbages itch up inside the blood, it means that the blood is not moving to the different organ system to give them nutrients. It is also telling me, in my layman understanding, is that the blood is the vehicle. The blood is that transportation that is going to carry the nutrients to the different organ system. Am I correct, Mr. Clive and Sir and Master Denny and Dr. Pereira?
Oh, most definitely. As you say, the life of the flesh is in blood. Yes, because
exactly.
blood, yes.
Right ahead, sir.
Yeah, blood is what transport nutrition to the cells, transport oxygen, water, your immunity, your growth factors, and stem cells, etc., to the cells to repair the body. It removes waste from the cell. That is critical component also, or we cell poison.
Absolutely. And the Belage again also what? Hydrates at the cellular level. Oh my God. Let me say my piece and turn back this right over back to you on Dr. Denise. From layman, not a medical person, just my understanding. The cells are the building block of the body. The body is made up of over 100 trillion cells. So it means that my entire body is made up of cells. What this is telling me that if my entire body is made up of cells, right at this point, I have dead cells. I have cells that want to become alive again, but they are not getting any nutrients. They aren't getting any food. This is also telling me that when I go to the bathroom to take a shower, I am able to bathe my skin on the outside, but there is actually no food that I'm eating. When I go eat some rice and chicken and all of those, KFC and burger, that is not, it is only affecting my cells. It is not affecting my cells in order for it to function at its optimal, right? So I want you to listen to me carefully. When you're building a house, you can't start to build from the roof. You must start at the foundation. So based on what I'm reading here, because I'm not the product person, I'm just trying to understand and make my listeners understand that if you want to have a body that is functioning at its optimal level, you must start to treat it at the cellular level. Based on what I'm understanding with the belage, is that the belage is going to clean the mitochondria. When I listen to the word micro and macro, micro meaning a whole heap, macro meaning that I can't see them because they are tiny particles. Am I on the right track, madam and sir? So if the belage is doing all this, it means that the belage is a product that is going to what? Give those cells a shower. Activate, proliferate, send them to work again, allow them to start communicating with other cells. So if the cells are good, the organs are good, the tissues are good, all the organ systems are good, the skin is good. So it means that the eye starts seeing better, hair is growing, fingernail is growing. So when someone would come on the call and say to you, what product is good for diabetes, arthritis, cancer, Molly gripe, and Floxy complaint, the answer is all 4 products, because the products, especially the belage, work at the cellular level. Sir Clive and Madam Denise. I'm not
great.
sure I was fully on the right track. Take it away, sir and ma'am.
Yeah, most definitely. The theory of free radical damage has been around for a couple of decades. And why we need free radicals is to diffuse free radical antioxidants to diffuse free radicals from the body. Free radicals are atoms or molecules missing electrons. And in order for them to become stabilized, they begin to rob healthy cells of electrons and start a process that is just crazy inside of the body that causes degeneration. So when you have antioxidants of the magnitude of what this product has, it is able now to supercharge your own internal antioxidants that your own body makes. Superoxide dismutase and glutathione. Those are the most powerful antioxidants that your body will ever need and your body need to make. So this product now help your body to produce 4 times the amount of antioxidants in your body than would normally be available. So therefore you are putting out the fires that are caused by free radicals inside of your body. Now, it increases energy production because you're talking about the mitochondria, and the mitochondria makes ATP, which is the currency of the cell. You will know the meaning of that some other time. Your body needs right amount of energy in order to function. Not too much, not too little. You need a right amount of energy. And the role of the mitochondria, working along with the microbiome, is to produce and provide the right amount of energy for your cells. So for example, if you need lighting inside of your bedroom, you know what wattage of bulb to buy. You don't go by the hardware store and buy one of those lights that you put outside of your gate. That is too bright, or that is used in the stadium to light it. That will be too much. You have to put on dark glasses all the time, or it might blind you. So your body is giving you the right amount of energy that you need to maintain proper metabolic function. And we are understanding that it is the mitochondria that maintains proper metabolic function inside of the cell and communicate with the cell and all the other organelle within the cell. So the mitochondria is that organelle that produces energy and has its own DNA. It's the only organelle in the cell that has its own DNA. And when it comes to improving blood circulation, this is so critically important because 74% of the cells in your body are that the blood have to line up in cells, like the red blood cells, have to line up in single files in order to go through these capillaries. So we have improved circulation because these products have been clinically proven to clear blocked blood vessels. And of course, we need hydration because the cells need to be hydrated. Your body is more than 70% water, and your cells need to be hydrated in order to function properly. So I hand over back to Lady Denise for her to put in a finishing touch on the bell.
Yes, so very true. And that is what leads to, as we were all discussing, the mitochondrial disease. Because if these life force, the mitochondria is not hydrated, is the bodies don't have enough antioxidants to continue growth and repair, a lot of things will start to take place. Loss of muscles, problems with vision, all of these things with mitochondrial damage, gastrointestinal issues. All right, then you have great mitochondrial diseases and dysfunction. And these things stems like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. All of these are diseases that stems from mitochondrial damage. All right, information that maybe you don't even know. Chronic fatigue syndrome, we will talk about all of these, Huntington's syndrome, all right, diabetes, autism. So folks, when as I said, this is, I was showing you the package, the bellage, they come in little sachets. Folks, this is life within your hands, and these are what is going to repair those little life force in the cells that Master Clive was just talking about, so that we can reverse, recover, and restore what has been damaged into our bodies. Back over to you, Queen Bev.
Absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Before we move on to the inner seven, someone had asked in the chat room, Dr. Denise, what are the ingredients in the Asaki? Can you just type that in the chat room for me, please? Absolutely sure, amazing.
Yes, I think
absolutely.
My beautiful queen from Canada, she actually put it in the chat room. Kako, yes, 500 metabolite. Wow. Yes.
Oh, wow, wow. All right, we're moving over to Dr. Denise pet product, which is the inner seven. Guys, wow. I will not even touch the inner seven. I am going to hand the inner seven right over to Dr. Denise, because that is her love, that is her pet. And there's no one that can explain this inner seven better than our own Dr. Denise. Back over to you, ma'am.
Oh my gosh, this inner seven is, I always preach to my patients that minerals is very, very important in our bodies. Without minerals, we cannot absorb anything, we cannot digest anything, we cannot even heal without minerals in our bodies. And the main one, this inner seven, you see this little sachet in my hand here? This inner seven, it holds over 60 plus minerals in the body. And what the minerals needs in the system is to repair, is to reverse, is to recover, is to actually heal. It gives healing within the system. And some to name a few: magnesium, potassium, zinc, calcium. Do you know what calcium is? Storing calcium, how important calcium is for the body. Actually, calcium plays a vital, important role in cellular processes, especially at the mitochondria. It releases back the calcium into the cell, so it can initiate release of neurotransmitters from this cell. Without being technical, the mitochondria has the whole signal coding to send out these transmitters throughout the body. And if calcium is low, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have a degeneration, because it deals with muscle function, fertilization, blood clotting, among other things. Those are the main things that we are having issues with. Persons fertility issues, hormonal imbalances, and all of that. And because this is critical in our body, the cell has to regulate it tightly. So if you're already depleted of calcium in your system, you're not getting it from a natural source. You're not, metabolizing the system. It helps in metabolizing as well. The mitochondria is starting to go deplenish. It's starting to degenerate. So there, so once it starts to regulate itself and have all of these taking place at that cellular level, it is going to start doing, your body is going to start feeling the functions of these minerals. All right. The inner 7 also helps with, it supports the pH balance in the body. If the body pH balance goes, especially the blood, the body draws calcium from the blood, all right, to keep it, to keep the pH level balanced. So when it draws it now, sorry, I said wrong side. It draws from the body to absorb into the blood so that it can keep the pH balance at a 7. All right. So if it's depleted, it will pull from your bones, it will pull from your nails, it will pull from your organs in your body. And then what's going to happen? You're going to start to have a degeneration. All right. So if it is not this, and once it pulls from the body, it don't reabsorb back into the bones. All right. So you need vitamin K2 to help it reabsorb back into the bodies. I believe I have that mineral right. Correct me, Master Clive. So at the end of the day, we need to be always mineralized. And that helps. It also, calcium is not important for teeth and bones. It's also important for regulating blood flow, oxygenating the blood cell, building arteries, vessels. It also helps in metabolism as well. So we have all of these going on here. It supports in hormone balances in the body. All right. The calcium helps to reduce the body acidity, as I was talking about. Magnesium is important, so very important, because it converts the blood sugar to energy. All right, a part of what the mitochondria does. So it needs the mineral to start these processes going into the system. So the potassium, selenium, zinc, those are some of the selenium is some of the silent minerals, but it is all there, 60 plus minerals in that inner 7. All right, selenium has the effect on vitamin C for more absorption into the system. All right, it protects, the microcirculation, helps regeneration and protects microcirculation. Those of us who suffer from thrombosis of veins, DVTs, we have, microcirculation, which means that blood vessels are not going through to the tiny blood vessels in the body, varices of veins and all these tiny vessels. It reaches to those areas to help that absorption into these blood vessels. Potassium regulates the heart and muscle. All right, it promotes smooth transition signals caused along nerve endings. Person who are nervous, in these times, all kinds of things, you're nervous, the body, stress activities, the children, it's so very good for our children right now. As Queen Bev said, she went and mixed it right away to give her daughter. My daughter, our both daughters are the same age. They have interacted with each other, and they're like besties. And I'm telling you, we need to give our children this, because they're not getting the nutrition that it needs to keep them stable and sane. All right, I'm not saying they go crazy, but with all these exams coming up, it is a stress and a pressure on these minds. Not talking about the adults as well. And also copper regulates the blood cholesterol. So we see a lot of wonderful things happening with the inner 7. I've also had some experiences with those who've had Alzheimer's and as well, dementia as well, alopecia, and all of these things that has been happening, and they've been having some results just using the product. And why? It's not about the product, it's about having something that actually hits that mitochondrial, break that blood barrier and enters into the bloodstream. Folks, there are lots of products outside there in the market, but I really went and thank God for having this sort of product, because it preaches my language, because this is what we need for our bodies, for our cells to grow, to reset our mind, our whole being, our whole human experience, to get back what we have been lacking. Back over to you, Queen Bev.
Absolutely amazing. I told you guys, I could not regurgitate and spit that out like that. Dr. Denise is a master as it relates to the inner seven. Thank you so much, Dr. Denise. And I'm sure that we are now understanding that the inner seven is not just a little bit of salt water that, you know, they put into a package, because we could go mix our own salt water. And I still don't want to move away from the inner seven. I want to call Sir Clive back on the inner seven, you know, Dr. Denise too, because persons need to understand exactly how did Sankey Global come about putting this salt water, because I've had this. Somebody say, but it's just a little tip of salt water they put in a package. What can that do? Sir Clive, I want you to open your mic and tell the people on the line exactly how did this salt water come about in that little package. Go right ahead, sir.
All right, thank you so much. So 1,000 feet below Okinawa, Japan. This is a pristine, reserved environment where the algae live, a lot of important life form that live in that region. And there we have all these minerals. And with the technology, advanced technology that Sankey Mayor Lab uses, they are able now to prepare this in such a way that it intensifies the amount of minerals that are in it. Don't look too much at the smallness of the liquid that is there. It is fortified and it is intense, and it gives you all the necessary minerals that your body need in order to perform many of the metabolic functions in the body, including making your enzymes, including your hormones, and for the chemical reactions inside of your body. So this Japanese technology is a very important cog in the wheel of giving us some of the most powerful products that we need. And Dr. Linus Pauling, two-time Nobel Prize laureate, says all diseases can be traced to mineral deficiency. Don't take this lightly. This is one of the most important of the products in the company. Small amount of liquid inside of it, looks insignificant, but it performs important roles in the body, including relaxing of the muscles in the body because of the presence of the great magnesium. So I'm happy to report to persons who, when they go to the bathroom, they strain, they in pain, or they even complain, that here it is something that relaxes your muscles, and you are able now to better eliminate in a very timely manner the big C, constipation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is important because of the fact that we take medicine. What it does is damage the nerves that controls the peristaltic movement of the colon. When that is damaged, the transit time of the waste from the body is restricted and limited. When that waste stays in the body longer than it is to stay, it ferments and putrefies and release toxic substances and gases back into the body, and we poison ourselves. It's one of the reasons for small intestine bacterial overgrowth also, because we are not eliminating, then the bacteria and other stuff tend to reverse in the body and cause what ileocecal valve and cause problems inside of the small intestine. So it's very critical that this product be had, so that, and it works powerfully along with Belage. For some reason, there is magic. We need to look at it some more. Why it works so well with Belage in terms of having anti-inflammatory properties. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to have Belage and Inner 7 in your diet as part of your arsenal to deal with pain and inflammatory type conditions in your body. I'll probably leave it at that now, Lady Bear.
Thank you so much, Sir Clive. Powerful, powerful, powerful. We're going to look at the last but not least of the products in Sankey Global, which is a purifier. I say to persons, don't try to call the name if you can, just say the red box, the red one, because that red one is significant. And I'm going to say it in my layman term. And you know, Sir Clive, you have spoken about diabetes in your family. You know about obesity. Dr. Denise see this day in, day out. But I'm just going to throw my layman on this product, which is a purifier. As I said, If you can't call the name, just say the red box, the red one. This product is telling me that it protects you from what? It protects you from the modern lifestyle. What is the modern lifestyle? Wow. Dr. Denise told us last week that fast food, you eat fast and you die fast. Wow. You eat fast and you die fast, because she told us that we have been digging our teeth with our grave. And we can do the same thing to dig us back out of the grave. The fact that they have not covered us 6'6". As a matter of fact, because so much persons are dying, we ain't going 6'6" again. It's about 3 somebody make up that 6'6" now, because people are piled on top of each other now. Wow. The company that uses this intelligent technology that they have used know that what? Most of us are not sleeping. They know that a lot of us, we have king size bed, but we are getting what? We are getting a single bed sleep. Wow. And those who have single bed, you are getting a no bed sleep, because you're tossing and you're turning all night. And this company is intelligent, and their research to know that your body heal itself and rejuvenate when you sleep. So as a result, they have given us this product that make us sleep like a well-behaved baby. This company also know that we all have bad habits. We have bad eating habits. I believe of all the bad habits that we have, Dr. Denise and Sir Clive is eating habit, because we continue to eat the thing. You're coming home 8 o'clock at night and you stop by KFC. But we have news for you. This product said, I'm going to take, if I find any good in that KFC, I might take it out. But if I don't find no good in it, I'm just going to flush it out of your system, send it back down into the colon, make it come out into waste. Wow, isn't that powerful? So here it says that it reduces the absorption of calories and sugars and carbs. Wow. It go back and it said it protects the protection and antioxidant, right? Wow. It go back and it said it increased thermogenesis, meaning that it's best to have this product very hot. So you're talking about a product that helps you to lose weight, especially in the stomach area. I don't know about anybody on this line. I hate to see a man or a woman with this huge stomach in front of them. I literally hate to see a man carrying a huge stomach as if he is about to deliver. I hate to see women that their belly is hanging over. No, we don't need to live like that. Here we have a product that is going to take care of all of that. But guys, I don't know about the other parts of the world, but every 100 person you would have met in Jamaica, at least 80% of them are diabetic. Sir Clive, this is your pet, sir. I know you have seen diabetes in your family. Can you talk to us about the crenulate fire?
Well, Lady Bev, thank you. Yes, man. In my family, diabetes is still in my family. It's damaging our whole generations of people, our country. And I know in the Caribbean in general, diabetes is a major condition. We are told that there are more than 700 million diabetics in the world today. And for every diabetic, there are 4 pre-diabetics. In 10 to 20 years, imagine a world of 3 billion diabetics, and we can't even now deal adequately with the 700 million. What's going to happen? It's crazy. But here comes a company, here comes a product, Crenulate Fire, that is designed to help us to deal with this tragedy, this malady of diabetes inside our world. And it helps to, with somebody mic is on, it helps also to reduce the amount of sugar and carbs, calories you absorb from your meal. This technology is ahead of its time. We have never had that before, and we are happy for this level of science. Can you imagine you are sleeping and you are burning fat while you sleep? Thermogenesis turns up the heat in the body and allow you to burn fat while you sleep. This is a dream come true. Many persons have always wanted a product of this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to report to you that product is now here. And also, as you mentioned, Lady Bev, in terms of sleep, it's very critical and very important that you sleep. If you do not sleep well, especially between the hours of 9 p.m. and 3 a.m., then your body is unable to heal and to maintain. The circadian rhythm is very important, and many organ systems do their maintenance at that time of the night. So those of us who are accustomed to be up watching movie, up studying, up doing all kind of different things because we can't even sleep, we need to fix it. We need a conduit fire so that we might be at bed on time, in time, for the healing process of our body to happen. Now, we understand in terms of losing weight that there are certain bacteria in the system that we need to help us to deal with the weight issues and challenges. And many persons are lacking in the proper construct of their microbiome. So it's critically important that we know what strains to add to the microbiome to help to deal with it. And we know, for example, Akkermansia mucinifolia is that type of bacteria that deals with proper maintenance of your body weight and such alike. So I know, Dr. Denise, you have so much more that you could chime in with on this, but we are glad for this product that is designed to help persons, especially those who are diabetics. Lady Denise, please.
And before Lady Denise speaks, Sir Clive, I want both you and Denise to look at all three products together in terms of the Belage, the Inner 7, and the Craniud Fire, and explain to us how the combination is helping persons with COVID-19. Thanks much.
Dr. Denise, you want to speak first?
All right, because I believe that we discuss it in the slides, yes, later down. What I just wanted to add with the Craniud Fire, that many persons suffer from gallbladder issues, and I'm seeing a lot of that creeping up. I don't know if in other areas, but I'm seeing a lot of that happening, and they're having gallbladder issues now. Basically, what is gallbladder issues is the acids is not breaking down by the gallbladder, which is the lipids in the liver that builds the cholesterol, the lipids to break down to help with digestion and enzymic and breaking down the fatty lipids. And what is happening, it is storing back into the gallbladder and causing blockage on the ducts, crystallizing. So what I have noticed by using, because that is the cholesterol is now mixing with the bile in the gallbladder and causing these stones. And I've seen using the Craniud Fire, they have been getting some relief. Now the thing is, folks, I want you to understand, we don't we don't say these products cure, but what it does far better than this, is nutrition for the body. So when the body gets the proper nutrition, of course the organs will do what it needs to do, and especially with enzymic breakdown and functions in the body. So it has helped with a lot of those, clearing up that track and starting to disintegrate these fatty lipids that comes around within the gallbladder issue. So I just wanted to inject that a little bit there. I'm not sure. I'm going on to those slides with what concerning the the coronavirus slides, Clive, so we can chat on that as we move along. Is that okay?
That's fine. That's fine.
Right. So before we move along, folks, I know our session is lengthy, but we are giving information here. So I would just like to be cordial to those who would like to leave and have to leave. You are free to leave. But if you think that you can, the information is what is required, because this is where we have our chat and this is where we get information, and you will have questions, your questions being answered. But before we move on, there were those who I would like to, call upon, who had some experiences with these products. And as I call you, if you are on the line, can you just open up your mic and just in a brief chat, explain what these products has been doing for you since you've been on the products, And, you know, it can help a lot of those on the call tonight, because, you know, this is new to us. This is a shift. It's a seriously mental shift in paradigm, where people now are realizing that you are taking back your health into your hands. And I know it's a lot of information, but I don't want information overload. But, you know, I'm just, you know, throw it out to you guys. So I'm not sure, do we have Tobago in the house, Mr. Grandison, sir?
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. I will just
Yes,
like you to shine in and tell us of your experience with the products.
well,
Floor is yours.
hey, I didn't hear you.
The floor is yours.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yes, well, I must say that it was maybe it was how to put it, luck. I don't know if it was luck or maybe it was just a blessing, because I was looking. I do real estate, so I was actually going through my phone looking for a, a purchaser. I have some land selling, so I was looking for a purchaser. I saw this name and I called the person and I watched the name. I said, I'm not really. I ain't gonna call he. I'll call him back the next day. Next day I go back, my hand come right by him again. I say, I wonder why. I'm not sure I call this man. I pass and I go. I come back again and my hand go right by him. I said, I had to call this man. And by calling this man, I happened to reach this Bernadette and her husband Peter. And they came to see the land. And when they came, we ended up talking, and I was telling them, well, I was sick last year, like now, so I came up from the hospital. I was in the Sangre Grande hospital. I had liver problems, sugar, and I had a whole other eye problems. Right now, my eyes now kind of getting back how it's supposed to be. It's not fully there, but I was explaining to them about my situation, and then they said, if you get a product that will help, would you be interested? I kind of hesitate. Even I said, okay. They said they have this meeting by a friend in women. They invited me, and one day I did go to the meeting. I was blown away by the information I received, so I decided to try the product. I did try a couple for, I think the crew know I did the crew know the Inner 7 and the other one, the Bellage. I bought about $300 worth. I started with that, and it lasted me maybe about a week or so, and I started to see some difference. I was very, very thin, very small. Actually, everybody knew me to be a person who had a little size. I'm not a big fat person, but I have a little chubby size. And I was so small, my pants was dropping off my waist. I had to always use belt and tight up and so on. And my wife will say, you look old, you look like an old man. I say, what is this? What is woman telling me? And eventually I started using the product, and within a matter of weeks, my whole body started to change. My eyesight started to improve. I wasn't driving for months, almost more than a year. I'm driving now. I can see much better than I was seeing last year, like now. So, and the product has done so much for me that people have been seeing it. My friends see it. People see me. They say, boy, up to last week, I was talking to some guys who do the same business with me. And they say, boy, we thought you were going to die when we saw you. And when they look at me, they say, well, what you're using? And I started explaining what I'm doing now. A lot of people now are interested, but I guess because of the time we are in now with the COVID, people lost in jobs, people are unable to get monies to do what they have to do. I think that is one of the setbacks why people are not so much pushing to get it, but they are interested. But the thing about it, I can tell anyone, I'm more energetic. I'm sleeping well when the night come. I sleep at least 6 or 7 hours. Very good sound sleep. My father tell me, you hear me snoring. I was a bit kind of shocked. He heard me snoring from downstairs. He said, you sleep real song, boy. So I say, look, these products have been doing very well for me, and I will encourage anyone at this time who maybe have issues, or even though you don't have issues, you can try these products and you will see some sort of difference in your life. You will feel something different. You must experience something. If you didn't, well, maybe something may be wrong with you, but I'm telling you, these products do work and they are working. And this is my little talk tonight. Hello?
Wow, absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, Lord,
All
just
right.
come back to looking for the mute button. Yes. So there's one more I would like quickly, because I know Queen Bev and some of those on this call has to jump off to go on another call as well. So if Lady Antoinette is, oh, I'm seeing her. The mic is yours, my dear. Take it away. Another queen. Sankey Queen. On mute.
Right. Good night, everyone. Thanks for having me on tonight. And I'm so happy to say that Dean is one of the persons I would have seen because I knew him before and I knew how he was. And I also thought he was going to die. And when I saw him on his way to recovery, we always compared notes in terms of health and so on. And he told me he had an eye issue, and we would always compare notes about herbs and stuff and what we could use, because for about 16 years I've been on the natural path. I don't go to normal doctors. I've always gone to a naturopathic doctor. And I noticed that I was using stuff, but I just felt as though I was not recovering. I wasn't feeling my best. I was always feeling as though there was something lacking. And I started praying because I told him the afternoon he told me about it. I said, Dean, I've been praying for the last few years. I was saying, God, there is some product that is out there that I'm sure could restore me. And when he told me about the product, he was a bit hesitant, but I am a pest. And I pest him until he gave me the information that I wanted to get. And I called the Madonna the same afternoon. And now what happened with me is within the first 3 days of using the product, I started feeling as though I was, like I had a rebirth, as though God left heaven and came inside of me, because I literally felt as though I was dying. And the issues that I had back problems, I had digestive issues, I had menstrual problems. Like since I was about 12 to this year, I was having menstrual pain as a big woman going to work, having to vomit and all kinds of stuff. And when I recognized that after using the products, it was because I'm accustomed using herbs, and I realized this was one of the first herbal products I've used and got results so quickly. I was in awe. I was amazed. I was just so happy and grateful that I met Dean. And he introduced me to Madonna. Well, I give Madonna calls every day. I think she probably thinks I'm a pest now, but I know she loves me pesting her. But I'm always trying to get connected, and I'm telling people because I'm not someone who would shut up about good stuff. So every day I tell people about the products. And as Dean is saying, probably because of the financial restraints people are having now, why we aren't having that big amount of people coming in Tobago. But I must say that God is the one who would have put me onto this product, because I have been praying for something better. I would have been using products, and I know they would have kept me alive, but they were not restoring, reversing. I know in some time to come I will have other testimony, because I have other things that I'm gauging. And I said as soon as that is passed and everything is good, I'll be able to give that whole story about all the things that have been restored. My vision, I could run now because I couldn't run before. I could have only laid on one side of my body. I think it was my left side for the last 3 years. And it's only within the last month I'm able to lie on my left side, my back, or the right side. So I'm happy that I have been able to use these products. And I don't want to keep you too long, but I'm thankful for Sankey. I'm thankful for Denise and Madonna, who has been helping me in this new or revolutionary information about nutrition and microbiome. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing. Wonderful. All right, let's go. I know many leaders have to jump off their call at this point, and you know, they have other calls they need to go to. So those who are on, I would just like to go straight to, and then we'd get back to certain things if available. So Queen Bev, Can you quickly, we go through the comp plan?
No problem, Dr. Denise. I'm right here. Absolutely amazing. And I don't know if you remember what I said to you when we started the call, that there are persons who are going to ask, how do we know? Are we sure that these products work? How do we know that what the company is telling us is true?
Yes.
And my answer to that at all time, Dr. Denise, I trust the integrity of the company. I trust the integrity of the leaders. I trust the integrity of what we study, but I more trust exactly what is happening when we get testimony. Because what the product, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So I want to just say to your two persons from Barbados who gave their testimony, they have just concretized and synchronized what we have been saying about what? Trusting the integrity of the product. But the better part of it is that the testimony that will come when people take the product. Thank you so much. And I just want to jump right in. We have persons on this call who might be saying, how do I get this product? Where do I go? What is it? Let me tell you something. In this world right now, guys, we have two types of persons, only the buyers and the sellers. And if you are not selling a product, you must be selling a service, because life is about sale. Life is about selling. But we ain't selling Sankey Global. What we are doing, we are educating, we are informing, we are ensuring that your health is at the optimal level. And my question to you, if I have such a beautiful product, if we have such an awesome product, let me say, that are changing life, what is wrong with me telling somebody else? And what is wrong with the company say, hey, I don't need to go pay social media. I don't need to go to the Gleaner to pay them. All I'm going to ask you to do is word of mouth. Tell somebody and we will pay you. Absolutely amazing. There are persons here that will say to you, boy, one more network marketing thing. I have news for you. I have been in the network marketing industry for going 35 years. So that means I'm actually giving away my age. And it is one of the best company. It is the absolute best thing that I've ever done, because most of my knowledge is based on different networks that I've been in. And I will tell you, the rich at this time, they do not count their money. They count the value of their network, because your network becomes your net worth. And I'm going to say this, it is an absolute sin if you have a product like this and you cannot share it with your friends or your family. It is an absolute sin. It is a sin if Dr. Denise, who is seeing persons suffering from different ailments every day, she keep it quiet and don't share it. And it is even a bigger sin, right? If Dr. Denise know that she's able to make $1, a $2, 100, or a 50 from telling somebody, and she's not asking the person who should go to pay her. Sankey Global said, I will pay you to speak. Can you put the products up for me, ma'am?
It's right there.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. All right, guys, you can get back to the person who brought you to this call, and they will tell you exactly how to get the product from them. Retail. What did I say? The person who invites you here. So if Dr. Denise invites you to this call, give her a call and she will tell you how to get the products retail. Also, there are two ways that you can get the products from the company. Dr. Denise can also send you a link that says shop. You click on that link, and whether you are in Jamaica, Trinidad, USA, Canada, wherever you are, and Canada is also on the line, you can click on that link and it will take you straight to the products. If you are in Jamaica, Bahamas, or Trinidad, we have a fulfillment center. So you would click on the first drop down that said either Jamaica, Trinidad, or Barbados, or Bahamas fulfillment center 24-hour pickup. It means that we have the product on the ground and you will be able to get the product in 24 to 48 hours. However, if you are like us who are spending our Sunday evening to ensure that we soak in this knowledge, that we be a part, you can become a distributor. If you look at the products right there, and I'm going to say, start where you can. We have 5 packages. We have a package for 100 and 2 packages for 159. But what I would encourage you to start with, you know, if you can't afford to buy the bigger package, is to start with the Sankey 10D, the fit, the 10D Fit package, because that package will give you, you know, the Sankey Fit 10D package. That package will give you a taste of all the products so that you can, you know, experience all the products. All right. If you have a big family, you can go to the $2.99, which is the basic pack. If you really and truly want to build this business to have products to sell, you can go to the executive pack or the pro pack. All right. So any one of those 5 packages can allow you to become a distributor with only a $55 membership fee. All right. Guys, I'm going to say it again. There are several of us inside of this chat room. We are not financially stable. The coronavirus has taught us one of the biggest lessons. The coronavirus say, hey, your job is not good. Your job, which means just over broke, ain't good, because a lot of persons, Jamaica, Trinidad, Bahamas, Canada, USA, because of the coronavirus, you have lost your job because you believe that your job was so secure that you did not try to get a second and an additional stream of income. You did not diversify your portfolio because you believe that your job, which is secure, according to you, was going to be there. Also, inflation has been beating the job that you have forever. So at the 10th of the month, you have much more than money. You barely can take care of yourself. This company is saying to us, tell somebody about us. That's all you need to do. Tell somebody about us and we will pay you. As I said, this company have 12 methods of payment. I'm going to look at only 3 or 4. The first one is to retail, the retailing of the product. Me just buying enough products, sell it. The second way is what you call fast start bonus. All these packages that you're looking at, all of them come with a point. If you look below this package that is on the screen now, you are going to see the package that was there before. You're going to see 50 points. That 50 points represent the points that is attached because each product carry a point system of 25. So when you purchase, when you would have enrolled with the 2 first package, those package have 50 points, 50 points. 40, the company is going to give you about 90% of that 50 points. 90% of that 50 points is equivalent to $45 US. So if you bring 10 person in at the lowest package, that is 10 times $45 US. I don't know who would not love that today based on what is happening. The second package is the $2.99. That $2.99 carry a point percentage of 100 points. Again, you're going to be getting back 90% of that, which is 80 US, which is $90 US, sorry, and so on and so forth with all the packages. Guys, when you look, you will see something. I saw it, the star. The company say to you, just come with 3 customers and 2 distributors in your business. And your earning potential right there is $230 US. And you can do this over and over and over and over. I will not go into the rest of the compensation plan. What I want you to start with is to start making your stars. Once you're making your stars, every star is equivalent to $230 US, guys. And that is where I'm going to stop the compensation plan. And as a matter of fact, okay, Dr. Denise, guys, when you would have built and you would have built deep, when you would have leveraged your network, what is in front of you? This company will, you know, they have car bonus, watch, Rolex watches, they have trips, they have jackets, they have a whole lot of stuff. But you know what? You have got to start with 1, 2, and 3 before you can get to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Persons are doing it, persons have done it, and we also shall be doing it. So on our next presentation, or maybe Dr. Denise could set up a time when we go full in depth in the compensation plan. Dr. Denise, thank you so much for this call. Thanks to everyone that is on this call. And I'm going to be jumping over into another call now. So back over to you, Dr. Denise.
Thank you so much, Queen Beth, for allowing us your time today, and really appreciate you. She's my beautiful sponsor out of Jamaica, and I know she's got to go and jump on another call tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Welcome, Dr. Denise. Thank you too.